Guys, what's up? It is Celeb back again. It is E3 now, and we have got some awesome stuff for you. We got all kinds of stuff coming this week to the Cinelinx team and Second Opinion Productions. It's going to be fantastic. But I am here with Brett Gow, and this man is, in my book is, he's like, one of the fathers of gaming, and I was kind of blown away after doing some research of some of the stuff that you've done in the industry and stuff. I know we're here to talk about toy soldiers, but I mean game counselors, like I was blown away by it.
Oh, you're giving my age away. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. That was long ago. No, yeah. I've been doing this for a while, and I just lucky, so fortunate to, the places I've worked with and the people that I've worked with. I mean, it's just, that's the great thing about making games is it's, one, to do something that you love, but the collaboration and the creativity and to work with, different people and just that's the best part. So
yeah, it is. And you've been in the, like what you said, I hate, kind of talking about your age, but you've been in the industry since the year I was born. So I'm just going to shoot that out there. This dude is like, he's got the history of all histories with him. And he's done so many things in this industry, working on, all different types of projects, many really cool things, working with, Nintendo and working on, I think you actually had some work with the Turok franchise as well, possibly.
Yeah, we did at Acclaim. We launched Turok. That was fantastic. Yeah,
that's one of my hits of all hits. Like I'm just waiting for Turok to pop back up, But
we'll see.
We'll have to see. So, executive producer at Signal, correct?
Yep.
And you also work for AccelerateGames, publisher there. So we're here to talk about Toy Soldiers HD. So Toy Soldiers originally came out in 2010, and I want to know kind of like what was the inspiration behind wanting to bring this game back? Is it just something like that passion project or?
I wouldn't say a passion project. The creator and the founder of Signal Studios, DR Albright. I mean, this is like his baby. It was his idea. And, I was working at Microsoft at the time when this game was, coming out on XBLA, and we were super excited, for that. And it's, so I wouldn't say it's as much of a passion project as much as it's a great game to play. Yeah. And it's one of those games that you work on that, you're really pleased with. You're happy to put your name on it. You're in the credits and you're just like, it's great. But there's always, you want to do something more with it, and so, Signal was able to get the rights to the IP back and decided that we wanted to come out and do something different with it. And so that's where we came up with, with Toy Soldiers HD. Yeah. So, and while I would say it's a remaster of the game, it's a completely different game experience for fans of the original game. This game includes, all of the original DLC, but we've gone through and to take advantage of the new hardware. It's a completely different gameplay experience in the sense that there's more waves, there was more units. I mean, we've touched all of the different levels, not from a complete redesign, but I mean, just like going through and really making polished tweaks and doing a lot of different things to the controls. And like I said, like with the number of units that you can have on screen at one time compared to what you could, 11 years ago. I mean, it just feels very different. So, and it's just a lot of time and spent on that moment to moment and the pacing and just really trying to make something that, has that overall kind of visual aesthetic that fans of the first game, it's got that humor and that charm of that, the little toy soldiers and we really wanted to keep that, but really, maintain that, but just like really kind of blowing out the gameplay experience. So,
yeah. And the gameplay that I've seen and stuff, it looks fantastic. I'm very excited. I'm a real big, like anytime there's a war type game, strategy game, or even kind of like this with it being that like real-time strategy to where you can bounce back and forth of, building your infrastructure to take on the waves and then just automatically dropping down and playing that, third person experience of, taking these toy soldiers down and stuff. It's just so cool. And when the game first came out, I didn't play it right off the bat, but eventually I played it, and then I saw Toy Soldiers, all the other games that came out as well. And with this though, you were talking about the new content. Like it's going to have all like the original DLC and stuff, which I'm super excited to play. And with that new content, is it something that was possibly just not added to the game originally, or is this just all brand new content to expand the game and just make it even more amazing than it already is?
I think it's a combination of the two. There's always things that you kind of left on the table, or things that, it's like art. It's never quite done. So you always, you wanted to go back and touch on some of those things, some of the controls, some of the camera movement, things like that. Yeah. But some of it's, we wanted to, change the level of challenge, but not go too far away from what the core of the mechanics were. So, for us, gameplay always rules out, and so it's not just the pacing, between the course of one single mission, but through the entire campaign itself, it's like you kind of have those peaks and valleys where it's a little more challenging, or, you're spoon feeding new experiences to the player that are reinforced through the gameplay. So by the time that they get later in the game, they have to be, pros at that, they have to be an expert at doing all that. And so, but new content, I mean, there's 24 missions in the level. It includes all the DLC campaign, or the DLC mission packs as part of the campaign. We also included 3 experimental levels that play completely differently. And so instead of just placing turrets, on placements, or building them on placements, that you can just kind of drop them in the ground where you want. And so awesome. That is an idea that we were experimenting around with. Yeah. And we wanted to put that in there. Yeah. So, and then we have 3 brand new levels that are included that you unlock. So,
oh, awesome.
One, the long push is, it's a different kind of level. It's massive. It's a very long experience. And then we have like Knights of the Air, which is an all air battle. So, yeah. And that's fantastic, going through and, you're dog fighting and you're fighting, shooting all these things, but then you got enemy waves on the ground that come through as you're flying down and just kind of mowing down, hordes of troops. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So it's kind of a combination of those different things.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, too, I saw there's online play. Is there online play with the game as well?
Yeah. So we have a multiplayer mode that's 1v1, and there's 9 different missions or levels, I should say. You got quick match and you got private match, and in private match, it's just a plethora of different variables that you can set to play and customize the game experience how you want. So, and each one of those level designs it's different. So it allows you to play the game a little bit differently, how you want. And through the course of gameplay, some of the things that we've done is really try to emphasize that on the multiplayer side. So you can change your course and your strategy in terms of how your opponent's playing against you, and kind of mix it up, and, not just to defend against, but to try to attack in different ways too. So,
that's fantastic, man. And I'm just, just as a big avid gamer that I am, I have an arcade that has like 45,000 games on it. So there's a lot of times I go back and I play some of the classic Super Nintendo and, NES, Atari, whatever. And I love strategy games. I was a really big fan of Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. And it was it kind of blew my mind. I was like, what is this game? So the first time that I played Toy Soldiers, I felt that way as well. Like I remember when Jordan, my boss, had hit me up and he was like, hey man, we got this thing for Toy Soldiers. Do you want to do it? And I was like, yes, like no question. So the good thing about it too, is that it is the war style game, but it still has that family friendly kind of feel to it as well. It has that kind of comedic aspect, and it's something really cool. I thought about Toy Soldiers in when I reviewed Call of Duty World War II, because in that game there was a Toy Soldier multiplayer map that you were walking around as like, army men and whatever, and you were in a big sandbox, and I was like, they stole this idea from Toy Soldiers.
Yeah, we'll just say, thanks for the nod. So how about that? Yeah.
So also, we talked about your history in the games industry and stuff, but like being somebody that has worked with not just Microsoft, but has worked with Nintendo. How cool does it feel to see this game going on to Nintendo Switch, especially being able to play this type of game on something like the Nintendo Switch Lite?
Yeah, no, I started off at Nintendo. I'm always going to be a huge Nintendo fanboy, and that's not to take away any of my love or appreciation for any of the other consoles, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's really exciting, and I really think that this game it works well, for that Switch audience, and so yeah, I mean it does. It has a little special place in my heart to be able to put that out, and I actually really, we're all really proud of the game, and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, and it is a team effort. Everybody's worked really hard on this. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like I'm not doing the programming, I'm not doing the art. So I mean, it's everybody. It's like it's a real team effort, and everybody should be, they've worked really hard. But to have this come out on Switch for the first time on a Nintendo platform, we're really excited. So
Yeah, I think a lot of people are actually excited because when I told my wife about it and what I was going to be talking about today, she was like, "Well, what is it?" And I showed her the trailer on YouTube and stuff, and she was like, "So it's a strategy game?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "You can play it on the go." So she's a banker, so she was like, "So maybe I can take it to the bank and strategize while I'm trying to strategize people into making loans." I said, "Yeah, that's very so." But it's just really cool, man. But it's crazy too to really think how far the industry has come, because from personal experience and from your experience to see how the industry is now, and playing some of the games that I play and seeing some of the hype around games, like Call of Duty and Battlefield 2042 was just like revealed today, and it's such this grand giant scope of things. It really does make me appreciate the years that we got these type of games, because it's such a different perspective of gaming. You have these brutal games out there, of course. That's the kind of the gist of things now. It's like, Call of Duty is dark and it's crazy, and then Battlefield, it's same thing, it's mega and it's super crazy. But then you still have some of those games like the soon to release Ratchet and Clank series that is family friendly, and for me, being a father of two, I want a game that I will be able to not just play in front of my kids, but give them a chance to play it without having to censor anything like that. So with the I know that you didn't work on like the full original aspect of it, but just the dev team as a whole, is that something that they kind of thought too when wanting to bring this back? Because me personally, I can play mature games all day long, but I feel like that kind of E for everyone thing is kind of going out the window. You know what I'm saying? It seems like everything's just too dark now. Is that something that they kind of took in to hold as well?
well, we really, I don't know if that was like one of the major drivers, but it is something that we feel very passionately about. It is, if you look at the context of what the game's based off of World War One, it's a horrible, horrific experience,
Yeah.
so, but, and each part of the game itself, the missions and all the different vehicles and the weapons, they're all based off of real,
Yeah.
things, even experimental things.
Yeah.
Although maybe not the giant robot
Yeah.
boss at the very end. Maybe that wasn't. Taking a little too much liberty.
Yeah.
But no, trying to create and deliver an experience that fans of all ages, and with the split screen and the couch play,
Yeah.
That's really important for, not just for somebody to sit down with their kids and be able to play it, but, like yourself, you played the original. We've got a lot of response from different people that have played the original, that have kids of their own now, that are excited to be able to sit down and have something they can play. And and so that I think that is one of the things that I think made the original game work, because it does appeal to a larger audience.
Yeah.
But it is something that you can sit down and play, and it's challenging, but it is also, to the point that you can sit down and a younger audience can actually, enjoy that as well. So,
Yeah. And that's
no, it's nice that you recognize that. So thank you.
yeah. And that's something too that, I see some of these things when I go to these some of these events, and I see these really young kids playing, like even Fortnite, when they're doing building and stuff, and it's like, and I talked to Hugo Martin from id Software about that, and he was like, I see my son playing Fortnite, and he's doing building and stuff, and I'm like, what the hell, what is what is this? And it's like we're in a completely different age of gaming now. Just it's almost shocking sometimes.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is interesting too, because think about it. I mean, like gaming has been around, but it's like, I mean, it's part of the culture now.
Yeah.
It's like not only is it part of the culture, it's accepted, and it's a huge part of everybody's life.
Yeah, yeah.
And they've been doing it for a long time, and it's but it's an amazing thing though too. Not only just in terms of how things have expanded and the things that you can do now, but the social aspects, and yeah, it's really interesting. And I'm really excited to see where that's going to continue to grow to.
Yeah, I agree, and it is really interesting as well. Being someone that worked at GameStop for 10 years, and being in the industry at the age of 16 and doing the stuff that I've done, it is really good to see that type of stuff. To see those people out there that do have that response now, and parents that don't just look at it like when I was young, having my dad or somebody telling me like, okay, well, hey, listen, you've been playing the game for 30 minutes, get outside and start working or something. They're really starting to understand that it's not just a hobby or something. This is something that some of these, young kids could really make into a career now. And it's easier now to get into the gaming world and gaming community than it's ever been. So it's spectacular. But to get back to the game and stuff. So, one of the big things now is Xbox Game Pass. It's like a, really large thing. Is that something that y'all have considered with this game? Have y'all ever thought about maybe possibly bringing this game to Xbox Game Pass with its history of being on the Xbox console?
Yeah, I mean, it was like the original games were on their Game Pass,
Yeah.
Because it was published by them, but with the transfer rights, that was taken back down, and we'll
Yeah.
see where that goes.
Okay.
We'll see how that works out. We're always open to look into different things.
Okay. Fantastic. And kind of lastly, I want to ask the age-old question that I usually ask in most interviews that I do. This is not the last that we're going to see of Toy Soldiers, is it? Like, are we possibly going to, is this kind of like putting a little bit more oil in the engine to get down the road?
We definitely have, as always, more ideas on things that we'd like to work on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So I think the future looks bright for Toy Soldiers.
Fantastic. Yeah, because I was I played, Toy Soldiers War Chest, I think, and seeing that type of like craziness that was in the game at that time and whatever, it would be so cool to see, even more expanse from this game that honestly, it's really weird to think that it was 11 years ago that it came out. But honestly, that when I played it was just kind of a shock and awe to me, because at that time, especially in 2010, those games kind of started taking that darker turn of like, real serious first person experiences and stuff. And I was really missing strategy games. So having a real-time strategy game like this, especially coming back on these new consoles, is going to be great. And I can't wait to see what people are going to react to it like.
Yeah, no, we're excited too. I mean, we're very pleased with, the work that we've done. It's been a great team effort, but on top of that, we're just excited to get it out on these new platforms and get it in the hands of new players.
Yeah.
There's that contingent, that audience of people that remember the game like yourself that are excited to play it. But I mean, there's so many more people out there too that haven't had a chance to experience this yet. And we're really excited for them to get their hands on it.
Yeah, and real quick, lastly, I wanted to ask as well, like with PS5, Xbox Series X, and Series S out now, is there any type of like visual improvements by playing these on these consoles? I know these consoles are more powerful than Xbox One and PS4 and whatever, but do you know if there's any type of boost that will be available on that? I had some people asking.
Yeah, they do the upscaling, and we've done some work to that, but not a huge amount. Yeah, there are some enhancements, but it's not like we're making at this time this version of the game specifically for those platforms.
Yeah,
So
well, I'll just be waiting on that, PlayStation or Xbox, version of the game to come out. So no, I'm very excited to play it as well. But with it being E3, I do have to ask as well, is there any game that is coming out that you've seen so far or that you've heard rumors about that you're just really excited about or that you want to play in general?
A lot. I mean, nothing that just jumps to mind right
Yeah.
off that, the Ratchet and Clank, the stuff and it wasn't just, but that, I mean, and I know it sounds completely, I'm an artist too.
Yeah.
So like I look at, and I know our game doesn't have that same type of, like it looks like a live action cartoon, but just like seeing some of the direction that where people are going visually, but on top of it, I'm really like, I always like discovering after the fact some of the things that maybe I wasn't excited about, some of those little gems, things that, people are doing things differently from a gameplay experience standpoint. That's unique and just different. So those are the things that I get more excited about, just to see what's different and unique. I think, we've talked about how the industry has changed a lot, and it's so more wide open now for people to create and put their own content and really kind of expand on their own vision and their ideas. And that's what I get excited about. Like what's different, what's unique, how is somebody trying to do something or create even a smaller experience that's, completely different than something I played before. So
yeah, and kind of like what you said too, one of those games that really blew my mind with, artistry was Media Molecule's Dreams. I just kind of thought, well, maybe it's just a kind of gimmicky game, and going into that and seeing the creativity that not just developers are doing, but like even fans, it blew my mind, and it made me respect the artistry of games a lot more than I already did. I don't know if you've had a chance to really play Dreams or see what's been featured in that game, but it's wild.
No, but that vision that allows the other people to interact and create, and I mean, it's just like, yeah, it does blow your mind like that.
Yeah,
so.
It really does. But Toy Soldiers HD, guys, it's coming out in August. Is there not like a set date just yet, or is that something
not that we've announced yet? Okay. August. We'll leave it as August.
Well, listen, when the game does come out, and if I get caught up on anything, I'm going to call the game counselors, and I'm going to hope that I get a little bit of help.
Yeah. No, and we'll be showing more of the game later, more of a hands-on, and as we wrap it up and we're getting close to the finish and finishing off some of the stuff on multiplayer.
Yeah.
Love to get you involved in playing some of that with us too.
Of course,
and,
yeah. Yeah, that would be fantastic. I would love to. I don't want to, I don't want to get in there and show you guys what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But it's been great talking to you, man. And guys, definitely make sure to check out AccelerateGames. Make sure to check out Signal Studios. And please do yourself a favor in August when Toy Soldiers HD comes out, whatever console you're playing on, if you want to play it at your house or play it mobily or just whatever, definitely make sure to buy this game. Check us out at Cinelinx.com. And thank you guys so much. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, James. We really appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks for your time. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Of course. Yes, sir.